Alright, hey YouTube land, this is Jocey. Um, I have to talk about something that isn't really talked about. Um, Actually, it started last Sunday. My stepmom and I were talking over Easter dinner about um, my sister who is getting married really soon, and we were talking about that show, Bridezillas, and how these women were just very mean and cruel to these men, and how they basically could get anything they wanted because they were the woman and they were the bride, and they knew that they were these men's princesses and queens, and they can get that. But I want to talk about something that's very rarely talked about, and that is male abuse. We always hear the women's side on these talk shows like Maury and Steve Wilkos and Jeremy Kyle and Oprah and everything else kind of show it is, and everybody, Dr. Phil, all of that stuff. But no one talks about the male perspective, and there was a documentary on where four men of all different races and classes were talking about um, the fact that their wives were either verbally or mentally or physically or all three abusive to them, and there were two examples that really stuck out in my head. First one was they had gotten into a really bad argument. He had stood up to the lady and said, "I'm not going to take it anymore." She just kept saying that if you obeyed me and did what I told you to do, you wouldn't have these issues. You wouldn't have these problems. I wouldn't have to watch you. I wouldn't have to call you every 5 seconds if you just did what I told you to do. Like she was his mother. Like, come on now. And then he had had enough and said, "You know what, I'm leaving." She got so mad that as he was getting in the car, she came out with a butcher knife and was stabbing him in the chest. Stabbed him almost to the point where he had died. Almost to the point where he almost could have died. And so they interviewed these women, and I thought this was really cool how they got both sides of the thing. And the women were so, like, dinky. And they were saying, like, well, they asked the woman, well, what would you have done if this man had died? And she said, well, I'm cute. I can just find another man to take care of my kids. How wacky does that sound? Like, honey, it does not work like that. No, it does not. Next thing that really set me off was, okay, this guy, he was outside, it was probably in the summertime, he had his shirt off or whatever, doing the gardening, putting down the mulch and stuff with the bushes and all that stuff like that. And him and his wife got into it, and he had pretty much had enough. So, I'm out. I'm not gonna take this type of talk and or anything anymore, because at that point it was just verbal abuse. So the woman walks away, and he thought that the fight was over, right? Turns out that the woman got so mad that she hit him. Check this. She hit him in the torso with a gardening hose. One of them green gardening hose with a little sprinkler and stuff on them. She hit him in the torso with a garden. Let's repeat that. She hit him with a water hose. You can't tell me that is not in flippin' sane. Who does that? Why do people do that? That doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't even do that to my dog, little Freddie. I wouldn't even do that to him. To treat another person like that. Why would you want to see another person in pain and know that you did it? That doesn't make any sense. My plea is this. It's got to stop. Not just from the male perspective, from the female perspective, from the child perspective, the elderly perspective, the disabled. It's got to stop. And it makes me really upset when these men say, well, I don't want to talk about it because my boys are going to think I'm a punk. You're not a punk. Everybody deserves to be loved. For women, none of these names that men call you. You're not female dogs, you're not sluts, you're not hoes, none of that stuff. It's not fair for anybody to be treated unfairly. And I'm speaking about this because I've been made fun of. I've never been hit by anybody, thank the Lord, but, I've been made fun of pretty much all my life. And the stuff that they made fun of me about was stupid. Excuse me, I'm still coughing. Was stupid. They made fun of me about stuff like, well, back in the day when I was in school, I was thick. Now I'm just a big, beautiful woman. Gotta love me. And They made fun of me because I love to wear big hoop earrings. They made fun of me because when I used to get relaxers, I have been natural for a year now. Um, my hair used to be so big, even though I had relaxers, it just looked like I had like a straight fro. And they used to make fun of me because I liked Michael Jackson. And one person in college told me that I had too many white friends and that I sold out and I just wasn't black enough. Bogus. So anyway, all that being said, it's got to stop. It's got to end. It's got to stop now. So if you're in a situation, love yourself enough to know that this is not the life that was planned for you. There's somebody out there who will treat you right and love you right and do you better. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next week or next year. But there is somebody that God has placed there that will love you and honor you and protect you and treat you like the man or the woman that you deserve to be treated with. Treat your child, treat your elderly mother or a person with a disability, treat them better. That's the only way love is going to happen in this world. True love is that we treat other people. I'm sorry. Not so you can really see who I am because sometimes I have brain farts. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That is my main thing. So all this abuse has got to stop. This is Jocey. I love you. Peace and have a great night.